It's not just the wrestlers that do wacky stuff, but lots of wrestlers do, Jim. And on that topic, let's address this here at the top of the show, or at least 30 minutes into the show. This clip that everyone's sending around because, of course, as soon as anything wacky happens in wrestling, they have to send it to us nonstop. The video of a man apparently being pinned by a dog. What are your thoughts on this and the fact that something like this goes viral? And in case you need to see it and haven't seen it and have ignored the tweets,
you've sent it to me.
I've also emailed it to you just in case.
Yes, and I thought I had successfully avoided this. Yes, like 500 people tweeted me, what do you think? Or have you seen this? Or your comments on this? Or whatever the case over the past couple of days. And since I've had other things going on, I saw a dog in the ring. I said, this is not something I want to see. I don't want to get mad at a dog. It's not the dog's fault. There's going to be some foolishness. And I don't want to, see what it was. But now you're asking me about it, and you have sent it to me, and you're requesting that I watch it. So I'll click on it. Is there any preface for this that we need or whatever? I know there's a dog in the ring, and man wrestles dog is all I've heard.
No, there's no other preface that I could give you because I don't know where this is, who these people are, what this is a part of.
And let's keep it that way. We don't need to give them any publicity.
And let's also make sure we do. And by the way, it looks like you're trending right now for some reason. But let's also make sure that we note, for the record, for those of you that just listening to the visual and Jim Cornette's reaction, there aren't that many people here. It appears to be in either a shutdown mall or a Walmart or something, or one that maybe just has wrestlers versus dogs on weekends. I'm really not sure where this is.
Okay, well, wait a minute. I've clicked on it here. Hold on. How do you make the screen bigger on this, or can you? Well, it looks like, I don't know if it's a Walmart. It looks like it's an outlaw Walmart. It looks like maybe, that it was a Walmart type of building at one point, but now maybe there's, like you said, just a flea market or something in it. And apparently this thing has gotten 442,000 likes. Well, so it's 34 seconds. You want me to just go ahead and watch the goddamn thing? And
I'm going to watch it with you. I haven't watched it yet either.
Well, then in that case, then we'll just goddamn watch it together. All right, you tell me when to hit play.
Hit play whenever you want.
Wait a minute, is that the other page? The wrestler, not the dog?
No, that's
the dog's kind of cute.
That is not Ethan Page, no.
It looks like him. Well, all right.
Whatever you want to say about him, we've never seen him wrestle animals, so I don't think he would do this.
Well, at least we haven't seen it in public. All right, tell me when to hit play.
1, 2, 3, hit play now.
And there's a dog with a redheaded woman. Oh, it's a cute little white and gray dog, and it obviously is not happy about being in there, so the girl that owns it has to, again, he jumps up on the wrestler, and the wrestler takes a bump, and now he jumps up on the wrestler's back. Well, my dogs used to do this when I was a kid. If you get on your hands and knees, they'll jump up on your back. And he jumped on him, and he's got his feet on his chest, and he's pinned him. Well, that's just swell.
Why is that not interference? The redheaded woman ran in.
Well, yeah, the manager's in the ring. It should have been a disqualification. I mean, what is the reason why that this guy would want to do this if he is an actual wrestler or thinks he's an actual wrestler? Obviously, if he was an actual wrestler, he wouldn't be involved in this show. But what's the reason for him to take phony bumps for a dog and shit on the building? Even if it's the dog's birthday, the dog doesn't look like it wants to be in the ring to begin with. So it's not like you're doing something for the dog. It looks like the dog's a little nervous of the people until the redhead gets in the ring, because the redhead is mommy. But so did this guy buy boots and tights and say, I hate the wrestling business, so I'm going to make a joke out of it in front of as many people as will sit and watch me, which apparently is 36. there's other people walking by in the background, but it looks like they're just walking to craft booths and are not a part of this. There's literally like, well, maybe 28 people sitting there paying attention to this.
Give them credit. It'd be hard if I was going from like the candle shop to the coffee guy and I saw, hey, there's a guy in a ring with a dog. What the hell's going on? I may stop and see what's going on.
Well, see, now the redhead is holding the dog's head, but the other guy ain't doing his job properly. He's taking phony bumps.
Well, of course, Outlaw Mud Show shit happens at what visually appears to be an Outlaw Mud Show here. But let me ask you this.
But I'm just, what is this guy's purpose? What is his reason for this? Why would you do this? Even if you're just a play wrestler that works for free on weekends in fucking flea markets like this, why are you doing it if you don't have some respect for it and want to be involved in it? And you're doing something that, if you do it right and if you do it wrong, punishes your body. So you, instead of going out and, like guys used to do, living their weekend warrior fantasy of being a real professional wrestler, even though they got a job at a plumbing company, and they would try to tell their co-workers and everybody how tough they were and that they were pro wrestlers. Now these guys want to make wrestling look as silly and phony and stupid and as easy to do for anybody as possible. What is the psychology there?
You know, I think, unfortunately, there is a generation of people who came up as wrestling fans and got involved with wrestling and their mentality, and I think a lot of it comes from the stuff they grew up watching on WWE TV and then the various promotions copying in less effective fashion some of the bad shit from WWE TV, the idea that anything is acceptable in a wrestling ring. It's a canvas where, as long as there is some sort of physical activity, it can involve animals or lightning or fire, or all sorts of crazy shit. I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't see that as disrespecting the business. They see the business as being a clown show where anything is possible.
Well, and you can tell the ones that see the business as a clown show. And those are the ones that we generally rail against here on this program, because that's not just limited to the small budget promotions either, but use anything physical. It can involve animals that say you didn't want to Google that the other day when I asked you to. Things physical, it could involve animals.
What would you want me to Google exactly here?
I'm just talking about you didn't want to Google it earlier.
Right, but you used that to compare it to something. Yeah. What?
Well, I don't know. I would say that I've seen a few videos involving people getting physical with dogs that were more entertaining than this one. So you got that going for you too.
I don't know. I don't know if you have anything going for you there with that, but let me ask you this.
You know, that was the thing one time. There was a tape going around in the 80s that every time a guy would watch it at home when he was all alone by himself, he would realize that there was a dog somewhere in Germany that had a more interesting and varied sex life than he did.
Again, I don't know if these are the kind of tapes that everyone was getting, but let me ask you this. You have seen...
Bob Barnett may have...
No, Bob Barnett has nothing to do with that, goddammit.
Oh, he was a different kind of tape trader in the 80s.
Let me ask you this. You've seen other working dogs. How does this dog rank as far as dogs who can do things in the ring or are naturally inclined? We've seen Matilda. We've seen Arnold. I'm sure there are other ones I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. What are your thoughts on Lassie here?
Yeah, and good to bring that up, because some people are going to, well, Cornette liked it when the Steiners used their dog. This is a cute, fluffy dog. It looks like a smaller version of a collie. I don't know what the breed is. That's just jumping up and down with happiness, and a wrestler taking obviously fake bumps off of it and laying there so that the trainer can get the dog to stand on it and stand on him and pin him. And boy, I wish that we had released some of the video. I don't know. Did any of the video highlights of the Steiner Heavenly Bodies match in Smoky Mountain, did we put that on television? Maybe it's out there somewhere, but...
Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen it, actually. I don't know.
I've got tapes of at least a couple of the matches, but Arnold Steiner was a goddamn massive pit bull that weighed over 100 pounds with a head the size of a fucking toilet seat. And you could hear his bark throughout a fucking major arena. And he was fast. And you know, those pit bulls, they're all muscle anyway, right? And when he would get fired up, Scott had this big leash that he, had Arnold on, and he would be straining to hold Arnold back, Scotty Steiner. And Arnold was great. He could work. He would chase the guys around the ring. And, obviously Scotty had the fucking leash, or he would tie the leash to the ring post in the Steiner's corner, and then they'd trip the heels and they would drag them over toward the corner of the ring. And Arnold was big enough, he could jump from the floor into the up on the apron and underneath the bottom rope. And as that leash was like 6 feet from the post, he would get either Tom or Jimmy Del Rey's boot in his mouth, and the whole fucking foot would disappear practically. And he wouldn't bite down hard enough to goddamn do any damage, but it was working. And the guys are going, oh shit. And there are other guys holding on to the guy's arm where he's having a tug of war with the fucking dog. And here's a pit bull mauling somebody, and he could work. And then you would run from him and or accidentally stagger that way and turn around and righty, oh my God. And we didn't have, the guys taking goofy bumps for the dog, but the dog was menacing in a legitimate and believable way. And the people love to see that dog chase after our asses. So there's a difference there. It's like with everything in wrestling, there's context, and there's a big difference between trying to make something that could be legitimate, and just going in and assing off and being a jack off.
But imagine if Arnold could do a drop kick and then be led by a woman to pin you after several attempts.
Oh, God damn it.
You could have used Sherry for that role. She was on those shows.
Hey!
I'm not saying in a bad way.
Sherry a dog?
I'm saying she could have helped lead the dog onto you if you need a woman to lead the dog in the ring. You couldn't have the Steiner brothers do that. They'd be busy fighting the heavenly bodies on the floor.
Well, no, the only problem was the Steiners were the only ones that Arnold would listen to. So we left the Steiners to be in charge of Arnold to make sure there were no mishaps.